I'm currently the head of the bioprocess group in the biometallurgy division at Mintech. Personally, I'm a scuba diver and I'm an avid lover of terrestrial and aquatic wildlife, both of them, and I have a real passion for conservation and restoration of critical regions and ecosystem services that they might benefit everyone. I studied microbiology, zoology, and then ichthyology and fishery science at Rhodes University in a past life, and I completed my master's in environmental engineering at WITS. During my master's, I was fortunate enough to do my research at UKZN, working on an anaerobic reactor treating domestic wastewater. And that's where my passion for anaerobic bioprocesses for treatment of waste streams and protection of water resources was born. I started at Mintech in 2017, and my primary responsibility was for laboratory research and development, and developing our process for treatment of mining influenced waters. And then I became responsible for piloting those processes, focusing specifically on sulfate laden mining influenced water or acid mine drainage, so that we could treat it sufficiently to be reused in agriculture. And that was when we started our partnership with Caltech. They co-funded our final phase of piloting, and they supported our research into recovery of sulfur from our treated effluent, and also into integration of our unit processes at scale. And this was a super valuable step on the road to developing a full-scale process for mine water treatment and for management of water post-mine closure. Our initial partnership with Caltech allowed us to successfully pilot our closure technology. That's a sulfate reduction process for management of mine water post-mine closure. And this technology was developed for treatment of sulfate-laden mine waters. Through Caltech, we were able to gather really good data and show that that this process could be scaled up, and we're currently demonstrating our plant out in Mpumalanga. And we were able to present our work and our data at Caltech's annual colloquium. We were able to talk about the challenges that the industry faces, and we were able to give potential solutions more visibility. And I think that opened the way for a lot more understanding between the different stakeholders in the coal mining regions. Our ongoing relationship with Caltech and the connections that we've made through their workshops and their meetings have been really invaluable in learning from all of the stakeholders, but also sharing our expertise so that all parties can support each other who are working on the mine water problems in the coal fields. And I think it's quite important that what Caltech is doing, because they're almost creating a synergy between stakeholders who are working in that coal mining space. The biggest challenge really for mines, whether they're operating or whether they are closing and rehabilitating their sites, is the uncontrolled discharge of contaminated groundwater. Mining influenced water or acid mine drainage, it has different terms. The correct term is mining influenced water. And it's the major reason that closure certificates have not been issued for coal mines since around 2011. The only option available to us at this point is end of pipe treatment, and it's very costly for mines. And these systems will have to be in place indefinitely. Mine water chemistry can be really complex. So treatment is not always straightforward, and it can be energy and resource intensive. And I think just trying to understand the problem and the complexity of the problem and the scale of the problem is also a major challenge. You know, we as researchers, we all focus on our small little part, our little area, passion projects, if you like, in the area. And I think that R&D can really help to address these issues by collaboration and by integrating our processes so that we can come up with unique solutions that are specific to each region's problem.
Amazing, thank you. Can you share a specific project or breakthrough from your work that has the potential to improve water sustainability in the mining industry?
I think I'm going to just keep bragging about our closure technology. We've been working on it for quite some time, and we've had some really big successes in the development of the process. It's intended to provide another alternative treatment of mine water post-mine closure. for reuse in irrigated agriculture. It's a biological process. It's low cost and low maintenance, and it requires no energy inputs like pumps or electricity. The only reagent required is a source of organic carbon for the microbes. And I think, I don't want to go into too much detail, but one of the unique things that we are doing at Mintech and that we also did as part of the Coltech project is that we are looking at organic waste materials that can be co-treated with the mine water. So you sort of can develop a circular approach to treatment of mine water and other wastes. Our process is designed for sites with limited infrastructure and in remote locations, and it would treat the water to a quality, as I say, where it could be reused in agriculture on a site. And we hope that we can keep working on post-treatment steps to our process. And we've had some discussions with Coltech about this already, so that we could use our water as a as a resource on a site post-mine closure or for upgrading of degraded sites. Perhaps these sites could be then used for recreation or public use. The possibilities are endless when you have a water resource at the center. And the broader goal, I think, that came out of our work in this area is that we can use water and different strategies and treatment processes for long-term environmental protection and socio-economic benefits. And I think that's become our central focus when working in this area. I have this vision of a future where our water resources in these critical regions are protected and that they're available for the productive reuse of mine land, for socio-economic development, and for restoration of ecosystem services. I sort of have this ideal picture in my head where, you know, post-mine closure, there'll be green belts and restored habitats, economic security, better quality of life for those who remain after mining, and that we can use all of that to celebrate our rich mining heritage in South Africa. We've got a really long way to go, and a lot of the time the problems and the issues that we face seem rather overwhelming. But I think also, while the field is fragmented, we have so many people working towards these solutions that we actually can't fail. So I think that the future is bright, and I think that by working together and with collaboration, we really can achieve, you know, sort of regional water sustainability, and that we can promote the post-mining economy. Now, the major barrier, from where I'm sitting at least, the major barrier to getting to this point is sufficient funding, really, to focus on strategies and focus on water management plans, to focus on technology development and scale up of these. There's a big R&D chasm where there's significant research that happens on the bench and it's really promising, but there's never any funding to take that to commercial scale or for implementation. And so I think that one of the keys would be a lot more funding and investment into the future of technologies and implementation of technologies and strategies in these areas. I also think that, especially with respect to investment, all stakeholders, you know, people who are running big mining companies and governments who have to report back on the budget every year. I think that we focus very much on short-term costs and benefits and the low-hanging fruits, and I think that we should rather be thinking about investment as an investment in the future of these regions rather than as a number on a balance sheet, and that we should that investment will return more benefits that we can never quantify in rands. And if we start focusing on that, then we really can, you know, achieve this lovely utopian future for the mining regions post-mine closure. Well, I mean, on World Water Day, you know, I think the catchphrase we all use is water is the key to life. But especially in mining, it's also key to quality of life. It's key to socio-economic development. It's key to sustainable mine closure. It's key to sustainable mining. And I think my message that I would like to share today as a scientist in this space is that we should remain positive and cautiously optimistic. And that we can work together as researchers, regulators, mining companies. If we work together, we'll be able to solve our challenges and we'll be able to create a different and more positive mining legacy for South Africa and for our water resources.